So today I want to talk about Gravastar. More specifically, we're going to talk about their latest release of a keyboard. We'll get to that here in just a minute. So if you guys have been around the channel for a while, you guys have seen quite a few products here from Gravastar. We started way back in the day when they sent over some really cool earbuds, which, if I'm being honest, I didn't love the sound of. They weren't amazing because they didn't seal properly in my ears. Then we also had their neat little robotic charger, pretty awesome. And then in one of my mouse reviews, we did a whole bunch of different mice comparisons and tests. One of these was sent over by Gravastar 6 or 7 months ago. It's been quite a while now. These are my daily mice. Yes, mice. I'll explain in a second. But these are the ones I'm going to be using to edit this video, play some games later, browse the internet, and my daily work stuff. Now, the reason I say mice, well, because I use both of them. I often forget to charge them, but since I had two, I keep the other one on the charger and I swap back and forth, and these are currently my favorite mouse to use, hands down. And I've tried quite a few at this point. So when I heard Gravastar was releasing a keyboard, the Mercury K1 Pro, I don't believe they've ever had any keyboards before, and you guys know we like keyboards here. We've done quite a few of them. If it's not your thing, I totally understand, but this thing is crazy looking, so I had to order it. Now, we're gonna start with the negative. I pre-ordered this thing like 6 or 7 months ago. Little bit of a problem here is that by the time this thing actually got to me, it had already been on sale like 30% off for almost 2 months. So, little disappointed in that. The fact that I pre-ordered this thing, and then before I even get it, I see it on sale all over the internet, and I see people talking about it. All right, first up, we're gonna fly through the accessories here real quick. Probably one of the fanciest keycap and switch pullers I've ever seen. Now this up here, I'm guessing this is the wrist pad. I don't remember if this was extra. Again, it's been a while since I ordered this, guys. All right, so this is the wrist pad. It doesn't have any connection points to the actual keyboard, which is something I'm kind of used to at this point. I currently use the Newfie Gem 80, and I have the glass wrist pad. At first, I wasn't a huge fan of it, but now I'm not so sure I could go back to a cloth wrist pad. But that said, it's got a really nice design on it, a very plush top. On the bottom, you have 6 different pads to stop it from sliding. Appears to be built like an ABS type plastic. All right, so we can see right here, it is a 75% mechanical gaming keyboard. Inside has a little bit of padding to help out with shipping. Oh, wow. That looks good. All right, we're gonna set the keyboard aside for a second. It does come with an included one as well. This is a pretty basic one. They work, they've been around for a long time. This isn't something you see included very often, is a cleaning brush. And then we seem to have 4 different extra switches in here. The Crackle Icebox, the Play Codon, the Silent Blue, and the Baby White switch. All right, then inside, of course, you have an owner's manual, a USB-A to USB-C cable, and a microfiber cleaning cloth. Pretty basic cable, nothing special. It's your average cheap cable. It would be nice to see something a little bit better included at this price point. This is not exactly a cheap board, but I'm buying it for the aesthetic, if I'm being completely honest. I mean, realistically, one of the biggest selling points for Gravastar happens to be their aesthetic, right? It's something completely different from just about anything out there, as you can see from this absolutely crazy design. You have a metal plate here on the bottom. Looks like you have your USB dongle here. This is going to be 2.4 gigahertz. And then you have this custom molded bottom sheet. Now this is plastic, this is metal, but the entire outside edge, oh, that's definitely metal. And then of course, the crazy aspect to this design, the feet. It looks like flipping the feet out actually lowers the height. So it is only a 2 position, but that's pretty cool. So here you can see the actual actuation of the feet. They have a very satisfying click to them. Well done. Oh man, I just have to be honest up front. I love the look of this thing. Has a little bit of a volume clicker over here. It is not a knob, but very satisfying click. All right, so just testing out the keycap puller here. It works very nice. You pull it up and then you click the button here and they just drop down. So the switch type in here, if you look really close, not sure if I'll be able to get that on camera, these are actually Gravastar labeled switches. All right, real quick for all of my keyboard people out there, guys, this switch and keycap puller is a game changer. As you push it down on top of the actual switch, it clicks in, these close around it, you push the button, it releases it. That way, you are actually supporting the entire switch as you pull it out. Again, that is awesome. A lot of people probably won't care. I respect and understand that, so I'm not gonna spend any longer on it, but check that thing out. That is awesome. Right below here, you have the FR4 plate. Then down underneath, you have a couple more layers from the IXPE foam to the PCB, of course. Then in the very bottom, you have a silicone foam. So another huge selling point about this specific keyboard for me, I mean, again, I've said this a couple times. First off, aesthetic. I think this thing looks awesome. I mean, the full aluminum housing, the accent feet, it's definitely not a look for everybody. I understand that. And I didn't say this before, but this is the Cyberpunk variant. That's really just gonna change the overall look of the keycaps, which is something you can change in your own, but I think they look great. So huge selling point for this for a lot of people is going to be the battery life. An 8,000 milliamp hour battery built in. That's up to 470 hours, depending on the lighting effects. You have a USB Type-C as well as your connection switch. This in here is going to be wired connection. Then right next to it, you're gonna have wireless. That is where your 2.4 gigahertz dongle is gonna come in right there. And then to the right, you're gonna have Bluetooth. Then over here on the other side, you have your Windows and Mac switch. Let's do a bend test. Guys, I can't make this thing budge. Now during the bend test, I can feel the plastic. Like here, listen to this. Well, during the bend test, I think I found a little bit of a quality assurance issue. First off, I cannot bend this thing. I cannot get this to move a millimeter. Like, it will not rotate, it will not bend, but I do believe that my actual housing is broken. Let's try to get this on the camera. So right down in here, you can actually see a fracture in my aluminum housing. We'll have to reach out to Gravastar, see how they handle this kind of thing. Again, I don't think it's gonna affect the actual keyboard itself, but considering how much money I spent on this and how much time I waited to actually get it, that is highly unfortunate to see. I'm filming this about a week after the initial unboxing of the Gravastar keyboard because I wanted to sort out the issues with, well, a couple of things. Primarily, mine has that small crack in the side. Again, it's not a huge deal. The rest of the keyboard seems to work just fine. But that said, getting a hold of Gravastar wasn't the most straightforward thing. So if you guys are trying to get a hold of Gravastar, the email, well, I got no response on after 5 days. So I went into Discord and I talked to their admin support there. And honestly, they got back to me within about a day. So it's unfortunate that their email system's either not monitored properly or broken, but there is still a fairly easy solution to get a hold of them for issues. Upon explaining to them my issue, they offered me a $50 refund, a partial refund. And the keyboard still works, it's not a huge deal. So I'm gonna accept that, I'm okay with it. I mostly just wanted to go through this process to see exactly how they would handle it. While in that Discord, I'm noticing another issue. Gravastar is extremely slow on all of their shipping right now, and it doesn't just seem to be because of the holidays. There's a really good chance they are behind on pre-orders. Mine specifically took 3.5 months to get here, which the only reason that actually bugs me is because before I actually got the keyboard that I pre-ordered, I already saw ads blasted all over social media that it was already on sale. It's just a little unfortunate to see that somebody can go buy a keyboard that I paid for 4 months ago, get a discount, and get the keyboard before I ever get it. So Gravastar, I would love to see you guys take care of your pre-orders first. Don't get me wrong, Gravastar is not a company that's ever gonna screw people. They're not gonna not send you the product. They don't do things like that. It's a pretty reliable company. I just feel like they need to get their steps in order. You know, we pre-order because we wanted it first. All right, starting off, I mean, the lighting effects with these type of keycaps, pretty awesome. Right down here, we have that little mirror finish. It has the Gravastar logo inside. Let's do the typing test. I have not typed on this at all. I do have the wrist pad set up here. All right, here we go. First test right off the bat, 119 words per minute, 99% accuracy. I mean, this thing, you know, so this is the one I'm using right now. This is the Gem 80 by Newfie. They have a pretty similar feel and layout. And I do have to say the sound on it is pretty good. That's gonna be about it for this short review of the Gravastar Mercury K1 Pro. Awesome keyboard. I don't love that mine has a crack in it. We're gonna get that checked out. It does not appear to affect it in any way, shape, or form. The colors are fantastic, but I'm gonna let you guys know right now, if you're gaming on this in a dark room, you're gonna wanna turn these lights down. Honestly, it's such a great board for the price. Now, are there better boards you can get for this price? Honestly, it really depends on what you want. The keyboard game, the keyboard world, it's all about what you want, what sound you like, and that's kind of why I like showing them off. So thanks for watching this review, and we will see you guys on the next one.